getting into this one, I'm very, very hyped to see exactly what could be in store. If it's going to be a case of one team just needs a little bit more time to lock in, or if both these teams are going to be super ready to go hot off the irons. I think we're ready to go. If we get started with this lobby, that
Yeah.
could be a fun moment here for everybody once we can finally get these picks and bans.
Production, start my match. They did not start it.
Absolutely. All right, now it's time for the real deal. We've had enough teasers. It is Yggdrasil Path. It is Convoy. There are picks. There are bans. There are
Oh.
saves. And there's Jeff.
Oh, I like Jeff. Very nice. Okay. So, best case scenario right now, maybe worst case scenario for Strat Pack. First ban is the Star-Lord. That was the reserve from Strat Pack back before everything got reset. This is absolutely a counterplay.
Oh,
Same
100%.
ban.
This is looking really good. Same ban here, Invisible Woman. All right, I'm looking for either a Groot save
Originally it
or
was a
an
Star-Lord.
Adam Warlock save. Originally it was Star-Lord, but now it's not Star-Lord.
Yeah.
And if it's Adam Warlock or if it's Groot, it'll tell us a little bit about which they play for. Magneto as well. There we go.
Okay. Good prioritization there for the Vanguards. The next save, God, I don't even. Okay, the Luna save. That was.
No, we did see that.
Yeah, we did see that. Okay. And we never got to see what either of these bands are. This is new territory.
Oh yeah, new territory here. LeBron Lovers get their next ban. Let's see what LeBron Lovers is planning.
Surprised they didn't reserve LeBron.
Right?
Hmm.
All right.
Curious.
Could be. All right, Bucky ban. Huge.
Buckard Barnes is gone. Okay.
But I need to see Groot either be banned or one of these teams lock him in immediately.
Yeah, I could see that too. I'm
Yeah.
not feeling the Groot ban here. I think it's gonna be something a little unconventional. Yeah, a Psylocke ban.
That is very unconventional.
I mean, look, if you're getting look, whenever I'm in game, I always go for a Black Panther ban because I just don't
Yeah.
like facing Black Panther. So I guess there's some trauma for the members of Strat Pack against Psylocks in the past. They don't want to
But
deal with it.
yeah, it also could be a pretty big idea for what they're planning as far as maybe a little bit of backline damage. That's why we see DJ and Van actually hovering over Hela and Moon Knight. And when you want to do that backline DPS, that is the sort of best case scenario is banning out Psylocke or BP. Huge.
Yeah, I guess the idea here would be to have the attacker stay grounded and very linear. You don't want deviations away. And, you know, the credit of Strat Pack, they are getting that. There is not a lot of flank potential, no real lurks, only a single duelist on the board for the attacking side. The attacking Penny is interesting to say the very least, but I'm not against it. I think the backline mines are very underrated.
Yeah, and I mean right now especially we are in a Hela meta, and so if there's no Groot, it's either way. You know, we're not at that level, but for Hela to be in both these, I want to see who's the better aimer. It's a battle between the dingers of the LeBron Lovers, or it's going to be the Vansters of the Strat Pack.
Oh, one thing we didn't talk about is Maple Zebra rocking the Hulk. The first time so far this tournament it's been seen completely eaten alive immediately as soon as the round starts. I'm expecting a swap.
He's being absolutely dominated in here.
It looks like no, they're going to continue with the Hulk pick. They have faith in it. Bring him back over. This is a runway coming out from the attacking team. No words, really. There hasn't been a chance for these defenders to set up yet.
Yeah, it's looking a little bit rough on the side of the defense. I'm not seeing a lot of good opportunities for Strat Pack to be able to set up again. CC does have the opportunity to utilize the portal, but I'm not sure why we didn't just straight up go for the portal off spawn, because now, unless they can really just dive in there with Maple Zebra, but he's going to go down to Banner, and unfortunately, he's immediately removed. And look at that, Dingers is actually sending straight dingers into the opponents there as the Lebron Lovers solidify the first checkpoint.
Yeah, call's been made for point one to relegate it away. Hold for the next choke point. This has to be the setup that matters most. DJ and Vanster, if there's a time to activate, now would have to be the time to do it. This Magneto and Gizmo on the attacking Penny, no less, have been finding a wealth of distance. Look at Dinger's position alongside the Penny. They are still going off the beaten path and finding so much extra space, taking advantage of the elevation of P2. That being said, though, things will continue on forwards. Ult dump begins. Gray Penny ult on top of the Moon Knight ult does not find a ton of impact. Only Wolfrax falls victim to Moon Knight's ultage. Everybody else close to the convoy itself will not suffer. CC, a sacrificial lamb against the Hela ult, does end up surviving it. Unfortunately, though, in the process, damage has been done. Another Hela ult in return, just laying waste with this Penny, not having her mines destroyed, making it uninhabitable for these defenders.
Yeah, we get a really good trade-off here with the supportive ults going through, but unfortunately, as it just gets toe-to-toe, for the attackers, they started to lose momentum just a little bit. I have Ohgawdevents gonna not land quite where it needs to. They're only managing to hit Dingers, who is in the middle of the Luna Snow ultimate. And, well, unfortunately for DJ, he will meet his end to one of those Penny mines here. There's no ultimates left on the attacking team, but Maple does have his Meteor M ready to go. I'm looking forward to seeing if Maple is going to be able to kind of come forward and make sure that they can dock any attackers that are coming through with their supportive ults. But
I love this attacker Penny, man. It's so gorpy, but it's finding so much impact. And it's throwing these defenders out for a loop. DJ's great for the 3K.
Wild
a moment
3K.
To breathe. Finally, some reprieve from the defenders. 3 minutes and change on the clock for the attack. This is the time to not even reset, just do what you gotta do again and build up these ults.
Oh yeah, Strat Pack needed that, and I'm really looking to see CC lock in a little bit more. I mean, CC's finally, you know, doing a lot to make sure that she's mitigating tons of the damage as Strange here, and this double shield is really coming to form for these guys. Looking towards actually Maple Zebra, hopefully still holding on to that Meteor M, still in a way to be able to use that. I was hoping to see it go up against the Penny, but unfortunately, Wolfrax, Rogue, Dingers, so much damage being dealt out here. And the Lebron Lovers, when they came back from spawn, they were ready and waiting to make this work out.
Triple strategist from the attackers allows Wolfrax to take more of an aggressive stance. 4 and 2, yes, but Sofa on the Cloak and Dagger is 8 and 14. Has been able to lay the law as this dedicated healer.
Oh, and check this out as the attackers just continue true to form. Sofa, Wolfrax, the entire support line, making sure that point is moving and grooving towards that next choke there. While Rogue and Gizmo, they're setting up to just dominate on this attack line here. And yeah, I mean, this Penny is working so well, taking out Vanster as well. What is happening?
Yeah, that's going to be a rough position to be in now. Things have been not going great for these defenders. Ult dump available. DJ's been finding value with their Moonlight. Is that going to be enough, though, to push things forward? The answer is no. The Penny mines continue to not be damaged at all by these defenders. It's...
the Dawn gets crushed by the Meteor M.
It does, but it does not stop the attackers as a whole, only losing out on one of their attackers. One of their strategists will allow the early ult to come back.
Oh, this is wild to watch through right now. We're looking towards tons and tons of damage coming through from the attackers. So difficult. A little bit awkward timing there off the back of the Cloak and Dagger, but we have the Luna Snow. But that damage from the Luna Snow did not necessarily be the sort of strategic approach that I think they were anticipating, especially as CZ hits a massive Eye of Agamotto, and Dingers is the last to fall as the attackers get reset through here.
Transfer swap to the Punishers allowed a lot more damage to be mitigated against the attackers, and forcing the Wolfrax to go for heals means less attacking potential for a team with only 1 DPS. That's Dingers, and that's not nearly enough damage output for these against the defenders, excuse me.
Oh yeah, I mean, checking this out, it is going to be tons and tons of pressure that this Penny ult is going to be placing, but a nice Moon Knight ult is going to actually separate Luna Snow from the team, but it doesn't connect all the way there. So unfortunately for DJ, gonna have to go back to the drawing board there, recharge that ultimate, as the attackers, well, they're left without any ults, but Vanster goes crazy right now with the final judgment. Gonna take out Gizmo and Rogue. That's the Vanguards deleted from this team fight. Once again, LeBron lovers back to the drawing board.
Vanster's ult was huge against Gizmo. That's the biggest pressure tool that the attackers have used thus far for the first 2.5 points. Without Gizmo finding distance onto a site, there's really not much of teeth to this attack.
Looking towards the defense, just really pacing these ults here. Eyes the Dawn, Aaron locked in on Cloak and Dagger and really providing a lot of openings for the team to be able to just maintain form on this defense at this last point. And this is kind of what we saw before, right? It's like you learn really early what you need to do. Oh, Rogue, the Meteor M hitting the wall. Not what you want to see there, especially when there was a defensive ult that you needed to delete. Now it's time for Zebra's turn, and Zebra is going to make that land directly on Sophia's head. Sofa goes down. Vanster is traded. Let's see this damage continue through as Gizmo getting ready to go for the spider time. Another massive Penny ult here to force out the defense and make sure that they are going to have a much more difficult time going forward. Wolf on the Luna Snow right now, pacing these ultimates. But Izadon Aaron, is he going to be able to stay alive? Looks like it is. Cloak and Dagger remains alive on the side of the defense here. We had a DC as Dingers, one of the primary DPSs on the side of LeBron lovers. He's DC'd.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. The teeth has been completely taken out by the dentist. Things have looked fantastic now for Strat Pack. Vanster once more, a triple KO. I'm curious, are we going to have a rehost to get Dingers back?
I believe Dingers should be able to rejoin the lobby, depending. But it is a question of how this next half is gonna go.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope they could reconnect within this time, but desperately needed for Dingers to come back. I don't know where LeBron lovers will be without their only duelist player.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna have to change some stuff up. Knowing Sofa, I think
they're gonna play it out.
They are going to play it out, but Dingers will be able to rejoin. The thing that I want to see here on the defense is I need to see Sofa take up that DPS, especially with Dingers possibly not being able to join in, because Sophia is an aimer. I've known Sofa for playing through a ton of different shooters, and I know that Sofa, like Cece, they both hit the aim labs, and there's two pretty powerful aiming people on both sides here, right? Like, both of them on support, I feel like is a lot of wasted potential, unless it's Adam Warlock, or in this case, Loki.
Looks like Rogue is going to be taking on that mantle instead. Sofa going to go to the Loki, will be able to have a little bit more DPS advantages while still being able to maintain the back line. I think that's the best of both worlds. I think having a duelist in the hands of sacrificing maybe only having one healer or just one of a different role left would be scary. I think Gizmo was taking most of the DPS abilities anyways outside of Dingers. Yeah, it's a tough shout to make.
Oh yeah, and speaking of shouts to make, Keg shouts, we'll see how this defense is gonna go with only 5 players on the defensive line. Looks like DJ is operating in a pretty nice point here, being able to push out, stay healed up, and just absolutely landing haymakers on the opponents. Rogue on the Namor, trying to mitigate some of that damage, but Sofa able to actually come through at just the right moment, stay alive, dealing a little bit of damage, dealing a little bit of heals, but Maple snipes from so far away, able to make that shot there. And as DJ removes Gizmo, there's no more Vanguards holding the line for the defense. Looks like the attacker is going to be able to just run through.
Honestly, for Rogue, I think you just swap to another support. I'm not going to lie. I think you just say, screw it. I'm not going to have any duelists at all until Dingers comes back. Just any sort of sustainability to keep people alive and on point and go for the stall to wait for Dingers to come back. I just don't see any other alternative.
I mean, could have just been, 3 Vanguards, 2 supports, exactly.
Sure.
Just stay alive.
Oh, but the amount of damage melting.
a Groot Penny here. It's a bit of an odd pick, but I think it would work well for the situation. But we'll see what Penny can do here. Gizmo always goes crazy when it's spider time, and it sure is spider time now. All these mines being dropped out, lots of space that lots of pressure we have from this now. But DJ able to hit those snipes onto the Namor. Oh, it's so difficult.
The problem with Penny playing for the mid lines now, alternate angles means that there's less people to protect the supports in these big engagements. You're down a player already. 4 ults available now for Lebron lovers. I'm sorry, Strat Pack. This is just a clean way in.
Oh, and for
Very
Mizuki, unfortunately, Mizuki missed the Meteor M. Not only that, but she didn't really wait for a support ult to utilize it. The Meteor M coming to waste at a big moment. We're going to see now what happens through with the attackers just colliding up this next point. We have a Groot now. Eyes the done. Aaron, he's ready to go. But once again, are we going to see the walls at the right moment? Walling off that corridor?
Yeah, right on the strangulation would be a good shout, though. Almost baiting out with Wolfrax's ult. Nearly dying in mid-ult with the Luna. Could have been a scary moment to be in. As soon as that wall... No. I was going to say, as soon as that ult falls, it would have been the strangulation into the Moon Knight ult, but unfortunately, just a little too early timed. Did not allow either one of them to find much impact.
Oh, but that's going to be all right. DJ and Maple, they're cleaning up the competition here, and the attackers, they're able to just shove the defenders away for just a brief moment as we reach the second point. Getting closer and closer to making this a sweep through. Unfortunate without dingers. It's just so difficult to hold that defensive line, try as they might.
Yeah, no words on the reconnect from Dingers just yet. It's just unfortunate to see that he has been gone. We don't know why or how, has yet to come back. 5 minutes left on the clock for a very heavy choke point. I don't want to be a negative Nancy again already, but I think this is impossible for the defenders.
I mean, they had to ding the dingers. He was so... Like, the impact that he was having on the match, it was, you know, had to nerf him somehow.
Yeah, had to nerf his power lines.
Yeah, super, super unfortunate there. But I will say, it's not a bad defense for a 5-on-6. They were able to hold the line for a little bit. A couple of team fights.
It certainly could be worse. It could have been, you know, more of a Vanster ace line, but... For, you know, it is how it goes. That's the way the cookie crumbles in Marvel Rivals.
It do be what it do be being. And that is going to be Strat Pack taking the first map. But not by a battle of full might, I will add.
Curious to know, are we going to go to a break to wait for Dingers to reconnect? Each team does have 2 substitute players to have. Because we didn't rehost the lobby, that meant there wasn't an opportunity for the substitute to come in. That'll be a question for production. I hate to say it, there's just not a lot to take away from the first. That's good. There's just not a lot to take away from the first game without Dingers available. The first half, I guess we could extrapolate.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I'll say is, like, let's talk about how absolutely flexible Cece is, being able to play Strange as well as she was, being able to then swap over to Luna. I know that Cece actually has a heavy support background, just glancing at her career, but to be completely honest, I think that the impact that Cece had overall, regardless of LeBron lovers, you know, losing a player, it's difficult to do anything when you cannot remove a Luna Snow who hits every single shot from the opponents.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of that too, even on Wolfrax's side, the Lord Luna was fantastic. Even though he went 5 and 9 overall, a lot of the kills that he ended up getting on that board weren't like those weird pseudo assist kills. They were him just straight up sniping people on that second point back on the first half. So I would like to see the team reconfigured a bit now that Dingers is returning. I think Wolfrax could find value maybe on a much more aim heavy role.
Once he can actually continue to hit those dingers, then, you know, the team is going to be back to form 100%. But yeah, let's get this lobby started up soon. And remember, folks, that map 2, let me pull this up right here, is actually going to be...
Another convoy.
Another convoy. It's going to be Midtown.
Oh, that's a tough one to be a part of here. So Midtown, how is that going to play out? It's functionally just a more vertical, Yigsguard, right? It's not as open. So if you want to go
Hard
for
disagree.
more, really,
Isgard has a lot of open sight lines and a lot of really long corridors where a player or where somebody like Hella, somebody like Punisher is really able to make the most of it. Whereas if we're looking at Midtown, there is just this is a Bucky Hella map. This is a Bucky Hella map. This is a map where if Groot is not banned, the team that can play Groot better wins every single time. Combine that with the fact that on Midtown you have so many opportunities for the supports to just get taken out from the sides if you have a dive composition that's able to really get into places that are difficult to deal with. At the end of the day, if you're playing a team composition that is front to back and operating in a situation where vanguards are just trying to hold the line, if they are able to be subverted by a really well placed Psylocke or a really well placed Black Panther that's able to kind of just outmaneuver and get into one of those positions, I think Midtown just it plays so differently to Yggdrasil Path.
sure, but I think for the most part, we've seen teams today struggle with that non-linearity, and we saw in Yggdrasil teams like to take those different routes outside of just the convoy's path. But yeah, sure, we could see the magic Psylocke return like we did back in the last Midtown, but that really only lasted for the first point with very little impact. So things could change around. I could agree to that. I would like to see teams focus on backlining more and just remove the Vanguard presence early.
Yeah, we need to see a lot more just focus on exact pressure points and maintaining where where that pressure needs to be applied at any given moment. And to be honest, I think that before LeBron Lovers lost a player, they were able to do that. They were able to kind of like recover really quickly and be like, all right, this is where the focus needs to be. But they need to have that adaptability on lock from the very beginning.
They do, and I think now with the reset and dingers coming back into the lobbies, the morale boost that this team needs. We're waiting for all the players to get into the lobby, and then we will set things up again. It shouldn't be that much longer. I hope we get to see for LeBron lovers a secondary duelist come into the fray. I felt on Yggdrasil that just having one wasn't enough.
I want to see Sofa on Hella. I want to see
Sure.
Sofa just absolutely left clicking heads. Um, that's just all it takes, you know. Uh, I think that it when it comes to picks and bans, though, it really does matter the most. Of like if it's going to be focusing on maintaining a specific Vanguard setup of if they want to play if they want to ban out Groot, are we still playing double shields, right? Is it a Groot ban and a Magneto save, or is Magneto being banned first, right? And then we have to go from there. A lot of questions do rely on that, but I think that for this map, it's a big it's Groot is huge. If you don't have Groot, it's Thing. And so
Yeah.
if we see the first bans being Groot and Thing, then I think that when it comes down to double shields, it's who can deal with double shields better.
I think we're more likely to see a thing here than a Groot, just because already so far a lot of teams have been opting to play in the fast DPS like the Punisher, which is great for destroying Groot walls, and just how forward facing and punchy teams can be. It doesn't have the same impact. The strangulation's great, don't get me wrong, but I want to see the thing just because of how game changing it was back on our last Midtown.
100%, because there's a couple different ways that you can play Thing, where you can figure out the opportunity, the moment of opportunity to dive into the backline, to hit those supports, to just get inserted to be the person that draws the supports crosshairs away from the rest of the team, right? That gives your team the opening to just deal damage and actually start to get picks. When it comes down to like how you can just adapt to that is forcing the Thing to play the second way, which is to just be throwing haymakers at the front line. But if you don't know how to kite the Thing in the correct order, to if you're going up against a Thing that is just able to stay healed up and stay in a situation where it is just so difficult to deal with, you might be forced to swap characters midway through a fight, which could really destroy your ult economy.
Absolutely. We're heading into game number 2 now. We have ourselves our picks and bans set up and almost ready. Maybe we'll see the hardcore Star-Lord ban once again. I know some teams like to play for the counter bans. It worked pretty well for game number 1, I suppose. The Invisible Woman, straight away, gone once again for Strat Pack. I'm assuming now they'll probably try to ban out the Star-Lord in return, and they do.
Yeah, interesting that we just get these same two bans. It's definitely going to be a target for, you know, one team to another. Luna Snow save. I've seen this one before.
Very familiar. The Groot
Groot
save.
save,
Okay,
all right.
so it's going to be a Groot strat from both teams.
It's going to be Groot. Now, question is, ban mag or ban thing? What is the answer here? But for Groot, you are forcing Groot on the other team. If LeBron Luvrs does not play Groot, they will just not be able to keep up. And I stand by that.
Could ban
So we'll
Punisher.
see. Could ban Punisher.
Or nobody.
No?
Sure.
Aura.
It's going to be another Psylocke ban or something.
Scarlet.
We have Scarlet ban, Jeff ban.
Jeff ban. Jeff ban is crazy. Ban Penny Parker.
Sure.
Moon Knight ban. Valid. Valid for this
Okay, anti-DJ. So DJ can't play Star-Lord, can't play Moon Knight. What's homie gonna play?
All right. Sofa on Loki. I like it. Are we going to get the Adam Warlock triple support res comp? No. Dinger's ready to throw dingers as Hela. We have Hela and Groot both available in this lobby. If Gizmo
Logan's
is going
going
to
for the
lock
Psylocke.
in Penny, I don't know if Penny has the staying power up against a Groot. Also, it's going to be really, really important for Sofa to be able to set up the Loki clones on this first point in a way that can mitigate what Groot does best, which is placing those lines that separate your support from your DPS. And yeah, that's why Loki is really, really good to play.
Oh,
DJ on Spider-Man.
sure. I'm with it. You have the Groot, Rocket, and Bucky combo. You really... Aw. All right.
No.
This is just Damage District.
The Damage District. Well, I've never been to Midtown, but I assume that Damage District exists.
Honestly, this looks just like New York. The broken roads, spiderwebs everywhere. It's pretty much the one-to-one picture.
2, 1.
Alrighty, as the attackers come out of the spawn, let's see what Strat Pack has in store. What strats are they packing as Rogue gets ready to go crazy on the Psylocke? Oh, diving in really close to the point. We saw Psylocke do that in the last one as well. This time, though, it's working for the attackers as Vanster has Bucky. I just realized Bucky is ready and available and ready to go. Not only that, but we got the Bucky and the Punisher and the Rocket Raccoon ready to take advantage of the infinite ammo for both the Bucky and the Punisher before that gets taken away.
Yeah.
Wolfrax
Mizuki's
gonna be able to
gonna
get a big pick right now.
Very tough time on this defense, just with the shield insta-breaking. This has been a field day for the DPS from the attacking side. Everything's looking good for Strat Pack, and unfortunately, the footing once again for LeBron Luvrs has just not been found. Gizmo's going to remain on the Penny, which theoretically is a great idea. It's great anti-rocket as well if he tries to backline assassinate, but unfortunately, the footing has not been there.
This is what I was saying, is that if you got Groot and you've got Magneto, you're winning. You're winning the video game. And we don't have the defenders getting a Groot out just yet. This is one of those, Mizuki, unfortunately, as she goes down there, you know, only 50% ult charge. I think she's got to swap to Groot. This has to be a moment of opportunity.
Someone needs to prioritize breaking the Groot walls, and you have a lot more of an opening against this character, but unfortunately, no Squirrel Girl, no Punisher, really no real response, and a lot of fragmentation from these defenders. There's not a lot of people ganging up together to focus on one central enemy, and the attackers are taking full advantage.
Oh, and Dinger's just, unfortunately, that Hela ult was so poorly timed, just unable to push back. But Gizmo making a lot of space here as Penny Parker, but just as soon as it is spider time, it is now no longer spider time. And Rogue gonna try to set up to deal a little bit of damage off the side, but with Dinger's getting taken out, we will see a character swap come to fruition. Looking like Strat Pack, their strats are locked and solid. We still have 4 ults online. Armed and Dangerous could be coming to fruition. If that Kraken impact starts to come out at the right moment for Vanster, it could spell absolute destruction for LeBron Luvrs' defensive line.
Keep in mind too, this is a dedicated healing rocket from CC. Less than 1,000 damage has been applied. They are dedicating themselves to the cause, but unfortunately in that process, both of the duelists have just gone down. Things are looking good now for the defenders once more. Rogue had just used their ultimate, and now CC finally putting in damage, gets a kill on the board, has to take out this Psylocke as the assassin. I really love Rocket on this map, just because you're able to backline.
You're able to just lock in so well. A Gizmo in a big way. This is a huge come up for the defense as they kind of realized what they needed to do, where that space was lacking. I think all it was I think it was the DPS not necessarily communicating to the backline where they needed those heals prioritized. And now that Wolfrax and Sofa are locked in the correct positions, like the pockets that are being created are so difficult for the attackers to break through. But as soon as I say that, Vanster opens up in a big way, taking out Rogue. That's going to alleviate tons of pressure from the back line here as the attackers finally get able to start to make a big change here. CC gets that res there with a respawn beacon, so Vanster ready to go. Maple Zebra going to hit that Meteor M. Is it going to land on Wolfrax? It does, Keg!
Beautiful to see. Strangulation's available as well. May wait for DJ's ult to come online. There it is. Great. Cloak and Dagger ult to come out here. Help solidify away the Penny. Get rid of their positioning.
Oh, but look at this. They're staying stable. Groot gets removed there by Rogue. No BRB beacon from CC yet. Maple Zebra and Cater, they go out. Vanster goes out as well. This is the LeBron Lovers showing that if they got dingers, they're gonna throw dingers. CC gonna touch, play a little bit sticky on the point there, try and buy a little bit of time, but unfortunately, it's not gonna be enough. No point is grabbed by Strat Pack. Actually amazing comeback there by the LeBron Lovers.
I really like the swap from Dingers going to the Punisher, just the focus on Groot Wall specifically, getting the extra distance, recognizing now that as much as CC was putting in work with the Rocket, it's still not the Invisible Woman or Luna Snow heals. You're still leaving yourself exposed as the Bucky and the Punisher to take those 1v1s and still lose them out.
Gonna be seeing tons of potential here with the attack. I'm trying to figure out if Strat Pack wants to change anything up on their defense. I don't think that they need to change up much from their attack, but Vanster going to Namor on defense versus Bucky could be a good move, but we need to figure out where Maple is planning on changing it up. If we stay on Magneto, okay, we are. No change needed. I was gonna say this could be a good opportunity to go Thing as well.
CC's going to go for the Luna Snow because you don't have that Bucky or that Punisher anymore. This will be a lot more anti-Vanguard, shield breaking coming out from the DPS. So this is going to be, in theory, very anti-dive. And Mizuki did struggle. What's up?
LeBron Lovers, that Penny Parker attack and Venom.
No shields.
Venom with no Spider-Man?
Yeah, purely anti-Venom. Mizuki's going to have a very rough day trying to lead the charge here.
Oh, yeah. This is, it's going to be tough. Rogue already taking the brunt of the damage getting out there. Dingers goes down immediately as Aaron lands a shot there. DJ as well. Gonna just get taken away straight away. Looks like it is pretty even footing right now as mostly the defenders are trying to figure out if their line that they're holding right now is going to be enough. And for now, it looks like it. But the moment that the LeBron Lovers kind of figure out how this line is being held, like I said, if you're working back to front, if you're just holding that standard line, this could open up a really big opportunity to get those crosshairs taken away. When you're playing someone like Venom, it could be huge. So you see right there, the crosshairs have been removed and Maple Zebra goes down.
This is good. You get rid of Maple Zebra. It's a very good start. Mizuki isolating out and pressuring a lot of these squishy characters much more effectively than I really thought it would be. It's been such a rough showing.
The attack is.
Exactly. They're practically already in the zone. This could be the end of game 2.
Oh my goodness. Can we talk about dingers, like, impact? Like, we didn't have dingers and it looked a lot closer. Now that we have dingers, it is a stomp.
18-2 from the Punisher. The stopping line not available. This Magneto all by themselves. Game number 2, effectively, very much into LeBron Lovers.
He's dinging.
Wow. A lot of dingage. I mean, where to begin, right? I'm surprised Mizuki was able to find so much impact on the Venom. It felt like it was a big confidence difference between both teams. Then the Moore and Hella should have had the Venom's number, but the Penny was there for the follow-up, creating extra space for this Venom, making sure that the DPS positioning was never sound and secured.
I'm going to say I truly thought that LeBron Lovers was kind of going crazy with these picks, but Mizuki had the perfect strikes every single time. I apologize, Mizuki. I was unavailable, or I was unaware of your game. She really knows how to pressure as Venom.
Yeah, no, that Mizuki played a wonderful time, especially when I saw them struggling on the Doctor Strange in the first half. Their shields were instantly broken. The space wasn't really created. Stay on that Venom, dude. Holy.
A wild performance there from LeBron Lovers. And I'm now reminded of our first map when LeBron Lovers didn't have dingers, how close it was on a 6v5. The rest of LeBron Lovers as well, they were almost able to hold the line as a 6v5. Look at how fast this ended.
Yeah, it was a 5-minute game in-game, and it worked really, really well. We never even got to see point 2 or point 3. It was just one big group fight after another. And really, I think that was the most important thing, is that individual players were able to find their impact, but as a whole, it really felt like each team had their own game plan in mind, and one just countered the other.
100%. And it's one of those things where I am really excited that these games are playing out so differently to MRC, right? But having these teams still be in the growing stages, right? We've got a couple Celestial players, but everyone for the most part is still kind of learning their roles and figuring out the process. It allows for a lot more individual expression in each game. And you just get someone like Dingers going wild, right?
Oh, yes.
As the Keg and Artie duo go, we know how to spot out some good talent. And right now, we started the day with Team Strat Pack kind of having an easy go at map 1 because Dingers was quickly removed, nerfed by the heavens. But when LeBron Lovers had Dingers, boy oh boy was he throwing Dingers.
Yeah, no, he was blessed by LeBron in between the disconnect and coming back in. We are back into our final map now. It is Clintar. Convoy 2 has dropped, and so it will be a different pronunciation than it would be the first 2 games. We'll have to wait and see. Star-Lord hard ban early on. Okay.
Can't be having any Star-Lords now.
No, Star-Lord is illegal. The Luna ban right after. Very emotional bans coming from both sides.
See what's gonna happen now. Yeah, we get the Star-Lord, the Luna Snow, the Moon Knight save, no doubt
DJ.
for DJ. Let's see what's gonna happen now with the final pick. Possibly a save on either the Groot or the Hella. We'll figure it out. We'll see. Oh, the Invisible Woman.
Okay, sure. I suppose so. You don't have the Luna Snow delay anymore with her ult, but you do have the Invisible Woman instead. I guess you could argue her range on heals on this map won't be as good as other maps. Group ban that respond right after won't be available. Probably means double shields, unless we have another Vanguard ban.
The Penny ban!
That is...
GL Gizmo! Targeted!
Gizmo's in shambles right now.
That's gotta be a hate crime. That's gotta be a hate crime.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, Gizmo... Someone's got to make sure he's okay. He has not locked in yet. I don't know if he will lock in anybody. We have not seen Gizmo play anybody but the Penny.
Oh, yeah. I mean, hey, this is a good opportunity to go in for the thing, though.
Oh.
Could be oh, wait a second. We've got Gizmo ready to throw Hella. What?
Okay. Very interesting. So we have ourselves the Hella and Dingers remaining. Well, was on the Punisher. Now the Moon Knight. Okay. I mean, we haven't really seen that impactful Dingers Moon Knight combo. I'd rather him be on the Punisher still, but I think for this for this first point, him on Moon Knight, just being able to have the Ankh hidden in some choke points here wouldn't be the best. Wouldn't be the worst option in the world.
Well, I do like what I'm seeing so far from the defensive line. CC on the thing, ready to just throw haymakers. Vanster on Punisher. this is looking like a really good defense, but the thing is that when you're running Thing Mag as your double tanks, usually you want to have them backed up in a way where your supports aren't just going to be, you know, if they get targeted, they get soloed out, it could spell the end. On the attacking side, this is a much more bullying ready comp, especially when you've got Thor and Magneto ready to just sort of find somebody and throw them into a corner. Thing is about to clobber out to the sidelines there. Lots of damage being dealt through, but the attack is stable so far, with Sophia actually having a really good opportunity to just keep everybody healed up there as Loki.
It is a mashing early on, a battle on two fronts. The Thor being healed up by the Invisible Woman. Wolftrax almost able to survive, was unable to do so. Oh, both Invisible Women are gone. We've discovered them. And with that being said, though, a lot of players on this defense are falling. Maple Zebra's desperately trying to hold the line with Thing, but if they fall, that's going to be the first point to the attackers.
Oh, 100%. And Dingers has been removed, so no more dinging will happen through here. But look at this. Sofa has such a fantastic opportunity right there. There we go. The invisible barrier coming through from the Loki clone ult in order to make sure that they can get exactly the right amount of space here on this offense. They have yet to drop out yet, but Gizmo, he finds two. Oh, but as Sofa and Dingers both get taken out of the equation, it is looking a little bit more even on the sidelines, even without any healers up for the defense. But just as I say that, CC and DJ, they get taken away there. Gizmo, though, with the Hella team up, able to get a quick res. This is looking fantastic for the attacking side.
It was looking scary for a second. DJ was staggered alongside Vanster, had the Moon Knight ult achieved alongside CC, but it just was not enough. The distance itself for the defenders to come back was not sustainable, and of course now point one had to be relegated. We'll have to wait and see, though, what the defensive lineup could be. Vanster again remaining on that Punisher. DJ up above as the Moon Knight. Has found 4 kills so far. Vanster 0. So he's been so good about laying down damage.
Oh, the damage is so good. CC, instead of focusing over on the Thor, tries to get a little bit of extra damage on the side. That's going to allow Thor to stay alive, and Mizuki goes crazy with that ult. Oh, CC had such a good opportunity to just corner in that Thor there, but unfortunately one singular missed click. That is going to spell the end of that defensive line. Now the attackers are pushed up quite far here, but they still have 2 people on the point, a good mix. This is good. The point's being pushed back pretty quickly. Sofa ready to just keep everybody healed up. Look at that. That's why I love Loki. And Sofa, such a good Loki player as well, knowing how to just keep that tech on lock. Gizmo could go crazy here on the attack. Oh, without even needing the ult, removes the final judgment away from Vanster. And CC gets stuck in with that Venom symbiote wall. Oh, no.
There were 2 chances of re-engagement with ultimates. The final judgment was one of the 2 used. The other, the Meteor M, never had a chance to see the light of day. Maple Zebra, though, off this respawn might be able to use it, but without really much of a resistance, P2, give it to the attackers. Maple Zebra, I just fear this final point may be too open to find impact on something like the Meteor M, unless you're waiting for Wolfrax to use Invisible Barricade.
Yeah, and even then, we still just have such good pacing coming out from Lebron Lovers. I mean, Sofa still has that Loki ult ready to go as Vanster gets removed here. Dingers continuing to live up to his name, throwing dingers from anywhere on the map. DJ is going to open up the Moon Knight ult, and it will remove Gizmo. It's going to alleviate a little bit of pressure from that front line. However, their front line is not the support, is not the one that needs the help. It's their support, which currently is being bullied by the damage coming through. But Eyes of the Dawn Maple, this is huge for the defense. They pick up a pick onto Rogue and Dingers.
Defenders have to be very careful with their ult usage, though. CC still has clobbering available, but there's 4 minutes still left on the clock, and very little distance needs to be made for the attackers on LeBron Lovers to get their 3 points.
Oh, yeah. And, I mean, right now, they're not even taking control of the cave. The defenders were not able to push up to the cave all the way. They had the opportunity to get in there, but they're like struggling to actually find their footing right now. See, Eyes of the Dawn, he's keeping everybody healed up from the back lines, but at the same time, as soon as you get a player like Gizmo or like Dingers set up to just keep that damage coming, you see Eyes of the Dawn all the way in the back, gets cornered, and Dingers, he throws such a good Moon Knight ult just as I'm talking about it, and that's gonna remove the entire back line from the defense.
Someone's gotta remove his internet again. Dingers has been unstoppable since he came back in game 2.
Moderators, unplug Unplug his internet.
Take him away.
And that's going to be the 3 points. I don't see a reality where these defenders can come back. Maple Zebra's holding the line, clobbering times out, but does not find impact. Final judgment, not immediately taken out. Oh, there
but
it is.
look at the damage. Gizmo completely uncontested in that Hella ult there. We're going to be able to pull it all the way there, and the first half of Clintar goes to the Lebron lovers.
I mean, you gotta give a lot of props to Gizmo. I thought it was going to be doomsday for him not being able to play
No
Penny.
Penny Parker.
It was the only character he's played so far this tournament. It gets banned out. That should have felt like a slam dunk for Strat Pack. Gizmo comes out with the Hella, and it might be the best performing Hella we've seen today.
It could, in fact, be.
22-1, by the way.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Yeah, this is, man, I mean, when we were watching that first map, I was concerned with how LeBron Lovers was able to kind of, deal with it even before Dingers was removed from the game, right? Then when it came to the 5v6, it was like, hey, LeBron Lovers, they're stacking up in a good way. I mean, they're obviously getting rolled because they have one less player, but they're stacking up. But now, seeing Dingers at his full dinging potential, it is a Dingers diff.
It's prime level dingage coming out from him, and it's been wonderful. I was concerned about the Moon Knight at first. He's been proving me wrong. I think the stall capabilities with the attack was great to create some space. Now that he's on the defense, it might be similar struggles that DJ had on Moon Knight, where he was getting kills, but they weren't necessarily impactful ones to create any space back. But DJ now on the Buckered Barnes, we have Vanster on the Hella. It might be enough to stall out and get the squishies.
We'll see. We'll see. This defense still looks so stable. I like to see Mizuki still on Thor here. I just think that Thor works so well for this first point here. And looking at Vanster, it's a good opener onto Gizmo. But remember, they have to hold this for as long as possible, because for the defense, I know that they are so stable on this point here, just given the way that we've already seen them stacking up against it on their attack half. Look at the attackers. Maple Zebra, he's able to actually do a lot of bullying. He's able to get in the backline, remove tons of those Loki clones just in time. Big impact there with Doctor Strange as well, pushing up the right time. CC looking absolutely stable on Doctor Strange.
And good too to remove those Loki clones. It feeds into Maple Zebra's early Hulk ult that we could see going into P1. Very early, almost cap, at least 1/3 of it has gone underway. For the most part though, like you mentioned, CC, a fantastic job creating space and denying it away from the remaining stragglers of the defense. This has been a solid early cap and gives so much time for P1.
Oh yeah, there's tons of time on the board right now, and this is good. This is exactly what Strat Pack needed here. I mean, remember, it's most likely gonna go to overtime, and even then, in order to do that, you're gonna have to have extra time in the bank to get through the hard choke points, of which we don't know yet which LeBron Lovers is best at. Are they gonna be better on the second point? Are they gonna be better on the last? But we'll find out now. CC just going crazy right now. The extra damage from that Hulk team up, the Gamma Gang, it's just allowing CC to go wild, playing Strange like a DPS.
A very rare flubbed ultimate from Dingers. He landed it directly on top of the Clintar itself, and unfortunately did 0 damage to any of the players on the attack.
Oh, well, we'll see exactly what this is going to look like through as Mizuki tries to hold up the line, find a good opportunity for the bully. Arda Dangerous as DJ locks in. Dingers has been dinged. Maple Zebra also going wild right now. This is a super solid attack right now, as Hulk is doing exactly what Hulk should do and just get into the back line, bully the supports, and pull crosshairs away from the team.
Yeah, and the Thor unfortunately has not been able to find the proper distance to push anybody back. The Gru is not available. He's been banned out, so there's no physical barriers to stop any of these players without the Punisher. Vancer again creating space off of Hella's ultimate is making everyone on the defense go into hiding.
Oh yeah, and unfortunately for Sophia, unable to really set up in an area where you can just keep everybody alive, just because the fact that this composition that is being run by Strat Pack, it's so tough to deal with if that Hulk gets inserted into an area and you can't deal with him in time, especially with Dingers. and Gizmo being kind of countered by Vanster. It looks like Vanster really has locked in his Hella.
You know, I'm just gonna say it. Defending on this map sucks.
Oh, it does.
It's so hard to do. So it's not necessarily a defensive fault for either of these teams, but it's just so awkward, especially in point 3. Dingers tries to escape. Vanster's having a life game. It is unbelievable. Both these teams have been able to get incredible mileage out of their duelists on this third point. Unfortunately, DJ once more good to remove Gizmo and company. It has been there's been no solution. Whoever can defend better on this overtime is going to be the winning team.
Oh, absolutely. And it's looking like defending is a little bit difficult for the Lebron Luvrs. As strong as their push was, 2 minutes and 45 seconds still in the bank, look at Strat Pack. They have still 4 minutes on the clock, and they are approaching the end here. CC gets a pick really early on. This is looking good, but the Armed and Dangerous kind of wears off. This is a good opportunity for Eyes of the Dawn, for Aaron, to be able to maintain form here. Big Eye of Agamotto is going to remove Gizmo and Mizuki from the equation here before Sofa was able to pop the Cloak and Dagger ultimate here. Oh, but Dingers also maintains form here. A lot of picks just happened. This is going to throw it towards the defenders for the time being, but they still have to deal with both CC and Maple on the point, and that damage is not anything to scoff at.
We remarked about how much of a life game this was for Gizmo. Going 22-1 in the first half. Unfortunately, this time 24-7 has not been able to find the same impact on the second half. Though, finally, a moment of breath for both these defenders. There's 3 minutes still left on the clock. All it takes is one very verified ult cycle from the attackers to bring this into overtime. I'm looking at Vanster. The use of this Hella ult could be everything to remove away all these positions.
And if Hella is going to be making the impact, we need to see Hella making a maneuver. Oh, with the Strange Portal, this is huge. Hella ult coming out right now, and it's going to be uncontested entirely. The damage on Wolfrax is too much. Onto Sofa already. That's going to be a lot. But Mizuki gets a couple of picks there. CC and Cater, they go out immediately as well. This is a nice change of pace as Rogue gets traded through. Mizuki still going wild to take out Vanster as it done. Mizuki has finally locked in. She is not going down without a fight. Able to just remove Thor as well, or remove Bruce Banner as well. This is going wild right now for Thor.
Mizuki played wonderfully on Venom back on Midtown, and I was really nervous about her going into this matchup as a Thor. She wasn't able to get into these fights without instantly dying, but as you mentioned, Artie, now on P3, she has found her footing and is able to lay down the line. Rogue is taking up so much extra space, and the long-range heals from the Cloak and Dagger has been proving wonders to just stall out the timer for the attack.
Oh, absolutely. But I mean, Cater Tots as well, like holding on to the ult for just the right time has always been a really good opportunity for her to kind of change the pace of the game. But we haven't seen Cater Tots able to stay alive very long because Cater is getting completely shoved into a locker by the defending team as soon as they get the opportunity. And look at this, look at the damages coming through. Cater is able to actually heal up quite a bit, but she has to be careful. She's at super low HP. She goes down as soon as she pops the barricade. Oh no! Sofa with an insane ult!
Unbelievable. A double kill with a Cloak and Dagger. Oh no, you're gonna feel bad after that one. There's 1 minute left on the clock. This is the final chance we could see things work out for the attacking team. Portal was already used by CC. We won't be able to see it again. She's gonna remain on shields though. And Zebra there to create space with Hulk. It's now or never. Ult cycling is incredibly weak outside of Vanster.
Going with a shield to allow the team to go over to the left side of the cave. This is pretty big. That's going to allow Maple to actually take a lot of extra space there, maneuvering into the position to start to bully the back line. They know that they need Hulk to remove crosshairs if they want any chance of dealing enough damage going forward. And looking at this, Maple finally ready to lock in with it. Moon Knight ult, though, from the defense is going to shove things a little bit sideways, but Cater Tots, Eyes of the Dawn, they stay alive. They stay ready to fight here. The defense is looking stable. They're not picked yet. They get a nice pick onto Gizmo there. CC gets a double. She's going wild as strange. Finally able to get activated here. And there it is. Maple Zebra jumping into the back lines, maintaining form as Hulk, doing what you got to do, bullying everybody out. The Hulk ult as well. This is going to buy a ton of time and space here. Rogue down to a singular HP. He's going to go out. This could be it. It goes into overtime here. No time left on that clock, but the attackers are looking uncontested at the moment as Luvrs gets taken away. Izadon with a massive Cloak and Dagger ult is going to make it very difficult, but Sofa responds with a Cloak and Dagger ult of their own. They're going to be able to hold this in right now as Mizuki and Sofa, they're locking it in, and they're both going wild.
An absolute meltdown any which way you look. Maple Zebra laying down the line, isolating out all these healers, making their lives a living hell. CC, the cleanse, a double for both of the strategists for the defense. Faster's there for the final knife going in. Will that be enough? It's
Ohgawdevents to finish it off.
Oh, Gizmo. It wasn't enough, however. Overtime we go.
Overtime we go, but for as rough of a defense as that was at the beginning for the Lebron Luvrs, 3 minutes on the clock for their attack. They are going to have a very good time to take their attack and really just push as far as it goes. Not only that, but it's Strat Pack that is starting on attack here with only 1 minute. Now, Strat Pack did shove through that opener really quickly last time. Lebron Luvrs did not hold that first point very well. So if they could change that up, if they could figure out what went wrong, fix it immediately, their defense could be huge. But only 1 minute.
Yeah, I think it's just figuring out very early on how to deal with Maple Zebra's Hulk. It was just such a great space gathering tool against the defense. And once again, even at the end of P3, we were seeing Maple isolate out Sofa and Luvrs, unable to give heals to the remains of their teams. I would really like to see Dingers go Punisher here. I think the Moon Knight was effective, but only effective on that final point. We saw at least 2 very critically missed or not impactful ults before that point. I don't think Moon Knight's the call here.
I think same could be said for Mizuki as well, but I think both of them, they kind of locked in towards the end. So for Mizuki, I want to see her have that same power right here at the beginning as she did towards the end. But let's see this, because remember, CC is absolutely locked in on Strange. Look at the tactics, look at the strategy, the mechanics. CC is perfectly set for this role on Strange, and the extra damage from that Gamma Gang team up just goes wild. So CC already pushing up to the point there, and it's Vanster that gets the first frag onto Gizmo. That's gonna be tough because that's gonna remove the primary damage dealer up against Maple Zebra. That's gonna allow Maple Zebra to be able to get in and do some damage onto Dingers. Dingers does trade into Vanster, but is it enough? No, look at the defense. They're already shoved all the way back. The point being taken. Rogue and Mizuki trying to stay up there as Sofa starts to get bullied by the tanks, and as Sophia goes down, this is looking exactly the same as we saw before as the defense gets removed and eaten alive. The attacking Strat Pack looks so good.
I like the strategy that we attempted to see from these defenders. It was Lebron Luvrs attempting to use Mizuki to isolate out the Hulk and take a 1v1 to distract him. Now Mizuki swapping away from the Thor into the Venom. It is a change, and it's one that's necessary. Dingers has already died before seeing that first point go underway. He's got to swap off the Moon Knight.
Oh, absolutely. We'll see what happens now. Mizuki going to be diving in, dealing some damage. Have to start removing some of the healers. But instead, Mizuki targets out the Hela and gets removed. Not even a chance to proc the overhealth. We now see the defense a little bit struggling here. They need to shove this into the corner.
Moon Knight ult.
Moon Knight ult. Come on, Dingers. It's huge. It's huge!
The same exact spot back in regulation where he whiffed and didn't get a single kill. He gets 3.
Oh, that could be massive, but look at this. CC still holding on, still dealing damage, and Maple Zebra still uncontested, pushing into the back, but things finally out. This could be the moment where they close the overtime, where they cleanse it, but look at this. The attackers that died in that initial Moon Knight ult, they're coming back from spawn. Oh, but CC left the point!
Oh.
CC left the point, and the overtime ended. It was huge.
Comeback. That was all Dingers.
3 minutes. 3 minutes and 43 seconds.
That's a tough shout to have. No swaps natively from either side. The Hulk still there from Maple Zebra. Again, I'm looking at Mizuki. I wouldn't be mad to see a Venom here for the first point instead of the Thor. I don't think this 1v1 has worked out well against the Hulk.
It worked out eventually, but remember that was also pre-Zebra swapping to Hulk, I believe.
It did, but now that double shields instead.
Okay, now I like the Thor. Now I like the Thor
the
a lot.
Thor's great now. Okay. Question marks? Sure. We'll have to wait and see how this plays out. There's functionally not many differences for either team now. DJ, of course, going to be on that Punisher. Double shields from each side. Excuse me, no Mizuki still on the Thor. Besides the Thor and Moon Knight, there's no difference between either comp.
Yeah, that's kind of what you want to see. I think that it's going to be a matter of where the Cloak and Dagger is able to be a little bit better suited. And to be honest, I think that Cloak and Dagger mixed with Thor is a little bit better, just because the fact that you're going to be able to support that Thor in any single fight without having to do much to leave your Magneto alone. So we'll see what happens now. Luckily, though, on the defense, this is critical. There's almost 3.5 minutes here, and CC has a portal available to be able to come back and stun through. They need to buy as much time as possible.
If the idea is for Mizuki to go for the dive and take this early space, she doesn't have much follow-up to help her out, except for the Magneto. And Rogue could be good, but the Meteor M, of course, not built up just yet. The heals have to stay far back. Both Sofa and Wolfarax's characters are unbelievably slow. Rogue has already fallen. Mizuki stays alive to make sure no one can push up into that space.
Oh, but Mizuki, without the shield, unable to take the space. They need to move over to the left-hand side. It looks like Mizuki's finally trying to make her way over there now. But yeah, the Punisher is going to be punishing quite a bit. We need Gizmo to be able to get into position to start really dealing damage up against them. This is where you want to be, but unfortunately Gizmo, I don't know if Gizmo knows the head glitch tech on that staircase. You're going to want to take advantage of to just deal that continuous damage. Right now, on the side of the defense, both Cater Tots and Eyes of the Dawn are completely uncontested as far as like being bullied. Look at that. Mizuki tries to take space, but CC's right there to protect. DJ goes out, but it took an ult to get there. Eyes of the Dawn gonna be able to clap right back, and unfortunately for the defense, or I'm sorry, unfortunately for our offense, they're just not making as much progress with the same characters.
Mizuki has staggered out. Both DPS have fallen. That's going to leave only a few very fragile people left alive, and even they fall. This team is officially staggered. 2 minutes left on the clock, however, for the attackers, and they have time to reconvene. I like that you mentioned going to the left side. That was the attempt we had seen for the attack back in regulation to take this first point, and it worked out well. This time, Mizuki nearly taking one in the 1v1, but now suddenly it's a 1v4.
It was a little bit of an overextension for the defense, but there was nobody on the attacking side ready to take advantage of it.
You have to do anything to stall for time, though.
Yeah, this is amazing right now for the defense, because I thought that for sure 3 minutes, it was too much. But hey, there's still time for 2 more team fights. So they're gonna have to keep that same energy come through, but this time, they've got a lot of ultimates. All right, Wolfrag's gonna pop the invisible barricade here. Maple Zebra cancels it out with the ult. Vanster does a lot of damage here, and so does CC taking out Sofa. This is an entire team removal from the defense. This gives the attack just enough time to reset. Please change your team composition. There we go.
Portal.
We're going for the strange portal. We need a portal into the back rooms.
Oh, double portal.
CC's gonna try to portal. The counter portal doesn't hit. Judge, jury, executioner, not gonna be in a great spot here. This is huge for the attack to be able to take space here, but the defense is a little stronger. They take away Wolf, they take away Gizmo, they take away Sofa. Kang, it's not stopping.
This is absolutely bonkers. What is happening? Mizuki's good for 2 off the cleanse. Tinger stays alive and gets 2 off. Nearly 3. The DPS stay alive.
Wait!
30 seconds are left.
The attackers are doing it.
Unbelievable. The skeleton of Lebron Luvrs stays alive for the cap. 20 seconds left. There's no attempt to come back from this.
Oh, it's CC burned the portal. That's right. CC tried to counter portal, so she doesn't have the portal available. So the attackers are able to do this. They're in overtime, just like Strat Pack. This is incredible. They're gonna go in overtime here, and they just have to push it 50 meters.
All it took was Mizuki swapping to the Strange, having double shields now, protecting the back lines. Has been a good start. Dinger's isolated out by at least 1. That's going to be Maple Zebra up above. It's anybody's world now.
Oh, let's
right, Ohgawdevents.
Mizuki, I have Ohgawdevents. It hits! Luvrs. Huge opportunity there as DJ goes out. Cater Tots will follow. Vanster trades by removing Wolfrax, which is huge. But Sofa, as a solo healer, she has the potential to do it and keep the team staying alive. Cece goes out early, and as Mabel Zebra tries to hold on for dear life, it's approaching the ramp. This could be it. Mabel has to touch the point to stop it, but the attackers are too strong. And there we have it, Lebron Luvrs. They're taking it all the way. They've taken us through. It's 2-1, and that's the Lebron Luvrs winning this round.
I can't believe it. From a player disconnecting all the way to a hard-fought overtime victory, this was such a turnaround to an MVP nonetheless. What a game.
Absolutely
A series from Dingers.
Incredible.
MVP for sure, 45 and 17. I was unsure about the Moon Knight pick. He proved me wrong yet again. It worked out unbelievably in the second half.
When in doubt, leave it to Dingers to throw some dingers. And not to mention, like I said at the beginning, Cece going crazy on the Strange. The only reason the team looked so incredibly strong on their attack every single time was because of Cece. And as soon as LeBron Luvrs found a way to break in and take out the healing line, as soon as Cece had absolutely no way out of any situation, that was when it started to fall apart. But when Cece was completely uncontested, oh, it was looking so solid for Strat Pack. But a well-fought victory for the LeBron Luvrs to be able to clutch it out like that in double overtime.